You're here because you want to get shredded, 10% body fat or below, so that you can have that delusional self belief and the confidence by looking yourself in the mirror and knowing that you have what it takes to enact upon your goals. Because fitness is just a stepping stone, isn't it? The physique is not the destination, it's a vehicle to be able to move forward in the rest of our lives. Well, you're in the right place. I'm going to be talking to you about how to actually get to that 10% body fat and some slightly unusual methods. I'll help you there. First things first, though, we're going to start with a method that's not so unusual because it's all over the internet. All of these fitness influencers with their high protein, low calorie recipe books full of artificial sweeteners and other garbage that's designed to make you feel like fat loss should be more comfortable and you should still be able to enjoy your sweetie treaties, feel this little childlike delight in your mouth, and not have the burden of being as full of calories. I think it's pretty garbage, to be honest with you. It's a method that doesn't fix anything. It doesn't solve the root cause of your addictions, your emotional eating, and your relationship with hunger. Similar, but not quite the same, are zero sugar soft drinks, where mostly they're going to be so low calories that you can just drink and drink and drink and nothing's really going to change. Nothing's going to change physically, but it will mentally. Whenever I have one of these drinks when I'm getting these cravings, I always end up feeling slightly sickly, lower, a bit of a mental fog afterwards, not feeling like the best version of myself. It's because the ingredients are diabolical. There's no other way to say it. So it's a tool, right? It works clearly because it doesn't make any difference in your physique, but it doesn't help either. You can drink a 2 litre bottle of Coke Zero and still feel just as hungry afterwards. Just because there's liquid filling up the space in your stomach doesn't mean you're actually going to feel full and satisfied. So yeah, it's pretty mid C. Now let's talk about the whole if it fits your macros, because that's the root cause of all of this. It doesn't matter what you eat as long as you get your protein and your calories, you'll be all on track. I think this approach creates way too much leniency and gives people way too many excuses to be sloppy. It can work, it does work in some people, but we're not talking about some people, no. I'm aimed at a very specific demographic of young man here. If it fits your macros is shit. If you're using if it fits your macros to stuff a whole bunch of sugary bullshit in your diet, then you're going the wrong way and you should be stopped. Let's put it in C tier. Now, let's talk about fasting, intermittent fasting. It's a tool just like any other. If you restrict your calories to a certain window through the day, then it means you can eat more within that window. It works, sure. Its main benefit is mental, not physical. You can eat way more calories than you need to and just stuff your face, end up not making any progress if you eat a lot in a certain window, but you will be sharp as a motherfucker in that window where you're not eating. You'll be able to perform mentally at a much higher level. So I guess as a tool for fat loss, it's still pretty mid. I'm sorry. Now, multi-day fasts, not eating for 2, 3, 4, 8, 20 days. This is a phenomenal tool because it's going to make it so easy to just melt fat off. If you don't eat for 2 or 3 days in a row, you're going to be able to eat way more on those other days throughout the week and still lose weight because you'll still be in a deficit through the week. I'm not saying you should fast 3 days every single week. That's going to probably create more problems than it solves. But at the start of a fat loss, and while you're going through the phases, to have 3 days every now and then to be able to just give your system a reset, and more importantly, learn how to deal with hunger better, you're off to the races. You'll be in an amazing place. Definitely S tier. The main benefit of these long fasts is that it can change your relationship to hunger. But let's talk about the main thing itself. Being a psychopath, a lunatic, somebody who relishes and is excited for pain. Because, my boy, getting below 10% is painful. And if I'm not just trying to get through it, if you're not just trying to distract yourself and run away from the pain, if you actually embrace it with a psychopathic grin and enjoy that, fuck me, bro, it's going to be ridiculously easy for you. So becoming a psycho is S tier. Now, having a North Star vision, a purpose that is larger than yourself, that is also S tier. Because it's so hard to make sacrifices of temporary pleasure and comfort if you're doing it for your own selfish desires now in the moment instead of future you and his goals. Let's talk about the carnivore diet. Is it a tool like any other? Yes. Does it work? Yes. Fat loss on the carnivore diet is insanely easy because it's so restrictive that you're going to have to go through way more effort to overeat than not. But, massive but, it's a stupid, retarded way of eating because you are deficient in so many micronutrients, and honestly, it makes your physique look kind of soft because once you remove the carbs, you lose this glycogen, this muscle fullness. It's going to make training feel wank. Your sessions are just going to feel flatter than your muscles will start to look. Honestly, it works for fat loss, but it's not the best approach. Put it in C tier. Now, on the opposite side of the spectrum, let's talk about veganism. Becoming an estrogenic little beta soy boy because only real men eat meat, right? Spoiler alert, I'm a vegan myself right now. I've been vegan for 3 months. I'm absolutely ripped right now. More ripped than 99.9% of meat eaters. And it's phenomenal. I love it. I feel so energized and so clean. My system is working phenomenally. My cardio got an immediate boost when I went vegan because it just improves your blood circulation, and getting better cardio means that you'll be able to burn more calories when you do it because you'll be able to go for longer and go harder, meaning you'll cover more distance, get more work done in a shorter time span, and therefore burn more calories and therefore get more shredded. So honestly, veganism goes in it's going to go in A, yeah. I don't want to sound biased just because I am vegan right now, but it is good. I will say this though. When I stopped eating meat, I stopped noticing this heavy sensation in my stomach. Like, I used to think that it was deeply satisfying to have a massive, juicy ribeye steak because it would give me this heavy sensation in my stomach that I associated with being full and satisfied. Veganism, it doesn't have quite the same effect because yes, it is very, very easy to get protein as a vegan when you eat seitan, TVP, but it just doesn't give you that same sensation as meat does, this heaviness in your stomach that I have to reprogram my mind to realize that this isn't real fullness and satiety, it's just a different sensation. So it might take a bit of getting used to, however, it's also way easier to stay within your calories and eat a low-fat diet when you are vegan. I'm not saying fat is a bad thing, no, fat is very important, but to have the ability to control it at this level, it's a godsend, because now I can deliberately add more fat if and when I need to, whereas with meat, the fat just comes as a byproduct. However, if you fuck up the vegan diet because you don't get your micronutrients, It's not going to end well, and you will become an estrogenic soy boy and a weak vegan, and you'll give us all a bad name. So don't do it, man. No, get help, get coaching, and make sure that it's all aligned. You're not deficient in anything. All of your nutrient needs are met. Definitely don't be the vegan eating processed garbage that says vegan on the package, because that's even worse, right? You're not being healthy. You're doing the opposite. If it fits your macros or high protein recipes, cookbooks, no. When I'm talking about vegan, I'm talking about a whole food plant-based diet. Goated, phenomenal, 10 out of 10, would highly recommend. Now let's talk about fasted cardio. Is it worth it? Is it some magical benefit? Are you going to melt fat off? No, not really. Is it going to be any different to eating and then doing cardio? No, not even slightly in terms of fat loss, but mentally it's going to unleash a savage beast within you. Doing fasted cardio, it hits different. Oh man, last week I did a 3-day fast, and on the third and final day when I was the most depleted, I did true fasted cardio, and fuck me, that was an almost religious experience. The level of transcendental pain, it hit different. So fasted cardio as a tool for personal development and building a resilient mindset is goated, and being more resilient mentally is going to make fat loss easier. Therefore, yeah, fasted cardio is goated. Plus, the fact that you're doing this fasted cardio, you're doing this hard shit, and then you're eating afterwards, it's just going to make the reward system in your body operate that much better, aka dopamine control. Yes, the ability to very, very intentionally tune your body to gain pleasure from hard shit, and stacking your dopamine to reward yourself after doing the hard shit. Man, it's such a good way to live. Because not only are you making progress, you're actually enjoying it. You're using way less discipline because it's just something you naturally feel like doing. Fuck, dopamine control done the right way is S tier for sure. Identity shift. Actually viewing yourself as the shredded savage who doesn't just set the physique as a goal, but as a standard for which he operates at and keeps year round. Fuck man, S tier. Like, identity work is at the foundation of everything else. Most people fail because they try to add habits just by adding habits, but they don't add the layer of identity behind it. They say stuff like, "Yeah, I'm trying to lose weight. Yeah, I'm trying to eat clean." They don't. They don't say to themselves, "No, I am the type of person who eats clean. I am the type of person who is effortlessly shredded." You have to do the identity work to make any habit stick, right? So, speaking of identity work, cold showers, because it's also personal development mindset. Yeah, they're not going to do jack shit for fat loss. Yeah, they're going to toughen your mind up, for sure, and make you more mentally resilient every morning when you do them, non-negotiably as part of your routine, but they're not going to do really anything else. However, mental is important. Let's go B tier. Now, going with a high protein, low fat diet. It's helpful, right, for physical performance, to maximize your carbs as much as possible and lower the fat, but it's also going to make you feel like garbage because fat is critical for hormones. So I'm actually quite low fat right now, but because I think I'm getting the plant power, the veganism, the frequency from not eating any meat, it's working kind of well. I deliberately add fat in right now so that I'm not completely crashing, but it's quite low fat. However, I'm talking about like professional bodybuilder level of low fat diet. of chicken and rice and all that shit. That has got to be, let's say C tier. Okay, I was gonna put it in D because fat is so important, but it can work. But you're just gonna feel like absolute garbage, and you're wondering, why do all these pro bodybuilders do it then? Well, guess what? They don't need to gain the hormonal benefit from fats because they inject their hormones, aka steroids. So they've got that covered chemically. They don't need to enhance it nutritionally. Speaking of enhancing nutritionally, let's talk about being a regimented military operator where you're eating the exact same meals at the exact same times every single day. I'm going to go S tier because it's so easy, it's so predictable. You start to get an SOP for your cooking process, and because you're always doing the same things, you get pretty damn good at cooking it, making it delicious, and therefore people think you're a good cook because you can do a few things very, very well, but then when you try something else, it absolutely goes to garbage and you end up fucking it up. But at least it makes you good at the things you do cook. And as well as that, your energy is just going to be predictable. Your shits are going to be predictable. And you don't have to count your calories. You don't have to do any of that shit because it's all taken care of. You count it once, you know what you're doing, and then you keep running it. And therefore, when you need to make adjustments and go off your meal plan, when you want to substitute in, it's that much easier. Because rather than counting your entire calories for the day, no, you eat like 2 out of the 3 meals that you had planned, and then for the rest, you only log that calories with your fucking MyFitnessPal app. But yeah, definitely goated. It's not for everyone, obviously. No, most just will not build to the level of discipline to do that, and the level of relationship with hunger, and the ability to get pleasure from progress rather than immediate comfort. But I'm not making this video for most people, right? Like I said already, there's a very specific young man who's watching this who I'm talking to. I'm not talking to the normie NPCs who want balance in their life. No. Okay. Let's talk about comparing yourself to others. The thing you shouldn't do because comparison is a thief of joy. I disagree. I think comparison is the start of an incredible transformation if you use it as inspiration instead of jealousy. If you're not resentful and you actually look at people and think, fuck, if he can do it, why can't I? Let it give you that competitive fire inside you. It's an amazing thing to do. I think you should compare yourself to others. Definitely going in A tier. It's gonna, like, in those dark times when you want to give up, fall off the fat loss and go back to cope bulking, when you look around and you see that shredded savage who's just operating at a high level, you're going to think, fuck, I need to do more, and then you're going to double down. You're going to go even harder. Competition is the foundation of a good male life. Now, I saved cut. Now let's talk about meditation. Namaste. Being Zen. The habit of seeing your thoughts and ignoring them. Just to focus on your breath. Or whatever focal point you want to put your awareness on. Why did I just get so elaborate? I don't know. It's very simple. Meditation. It's an amazing tool for fat loss because it will help you make better decisions in the moment. The more awareness you have of your own thought patterns and the fact that your thoughts aren't actually real, the more you'll be able to detach, step back in those moments when you do get those cravings and just move on. No. Make better choices through a clear and stable mind. Now, I saved the best till last, the stimulants, because I know you're a bit of a demon just like myself. zins, nicotine, snus, you could call it. It's definitely going to help suppress your appetite, for sure. It's going to help you feel more locked in on your training sessions. But again, it's not fixing any kind of root cause issue. It's just allowing you to escape from pain instead of embracing it. It's a tool to use like sparingly and deliberately if and when you need to. Don't make it a daily habit, whatever you do. Don't do it, man. If you have a level of self-mastery, then it's easy to use them occasionally, just like I do. Yeah, I guess they're going to go in B tier as well. Now the final entry, caffeine. Man, this is a slippery slope when you start to get into a deep fat loss phase, because it works. It's very effective at suppressing your appetite, but when you start using it as a crutch for that very purpose, you're going to drink more and more and more. You're going to fuck up your adrenal system. You're going to mess up your hormones, your energy. And even worse, coffee's going to stop working. You're going to stop getting that buzz, that jolt of excitement, that energy to actually get through your day. Fuck, man. It's such a useful tool, but it's so easy to get out of hand. Because the thing is, a lot of people, they experience a side effect of getting shredded, which is insomnia. Right? The leaner they get, the more they get insomnia. But you know what I noticed? So much of that is because the leaner you get, the more caffeine you use, and therefore the shittier your sleep is. So I think it's going to have to go in B. It's going to have to go in B. Hope all of that makes sense. I hope you have been equipped with a bit more of a mindset shift in order to make your shredding phase that much easier. But if you want any of the guesswork taken out, if you want a system that's been designed specifically for you, where we don't just focus on getting shredded, but becoming the kind of man who can stay shredded effortlessly, click the link down below. There's going to be a little form to fill out. It takes 10 seconds. Maybe we'll be a good fit to work together, but only if you're committed and you're serious. I don't work with guys that are just fanning around and half-assing, no. I want men who want to make a serious change. So let's go, man. Hope you have an amazing day.